college also, just to compare?
We could. I know that I have done some work with Salem State College. The tuition for a private college is higher than a tuition at a state college.
Right.
But this is the first college that's really approached us.
Sure.
So, and it's not proprietary. We can partner with more than one college.
Okay.
Just because we partner with Endicott doesn't mean we can't right with any other college. But then they would be competing with each other, and we want to maximize. So,
Right.
And Endicott College has a very good reputation for educational degrees. So that's why it was an invitation that I thought was worth pursuing.
Good. All right.
And they do offer a paraprofessional professional development in, they call it, I wanted to bring that to your attention too. It's has to do with applied behavioral analysis. So giving our paraprofessionals the tools they need in working with some of our most challenged students in the area of behavior.
I think that's important because in the last paraprofessional contract, and I know Dr. Troughton was working on this, they increased or improved the professional development opportunities for paraprofessionals in that last contract. So having something like this for them to participate in, I think, is great. All right, so next and the final agenda item is Kathy's entry plan, correct?
Yes, the next, I just want to bring your
Okay.
attention to the future business. The next meeting is the regular meeting where we will present the preliminary budget, and then the February 28th we'll be meeting at the little school.
Okay.
So that's our next traveling school
Traveling
committee meeting.
roadshow. Okay.
All right, so it's just going to take me a minute to
move
get
there.
things set up.
You can stay there, Cliff, right?
Can't see. Oh, yeah, you won't be able to see.
You're going to sit back there. I don't want to be, all right, let's see. Maybe I should sit, because I'll be standing in front of you. If you're gonna, do you want to just split? Because I'll be standing here working the meeting.
You guys can move over here. Why is it always warm when you initially walk into this room, but then 45 minutes later, yeah, the heat just dissipates. That probably needs to warm up, right? Oh, there you go.
I need to take the lens cover off. That helps.
Do you want to get those chairs out of there, or?
You know,
They're being covered.
I'd like to see them do a lot more. I'd like to see them put in a
Ceiling lights.
ceiling mounted camera.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, you can, that wouldn't need either. They could stay at the station.
I know.
So, you know, because it's awful, it's sight lines. It's not very expensive. No, they're a very poor organization.
Okay.
So we're ready to begin.
Yep.
And I'd just like to say, I'm very pleased to be able to present the entry plan report to you this evening. It truly has been a labor of love. It has been, we started doing this in August and completed doing some of the interviews and attending various events, although it's never done, in December. So tonight, I'm going to share with you some of the findings regarding the plan. So even before I came to North Reading, when I was thinking about applying for the superintendency, I did an awful lot of work investigating this school district and finding out if my values and my beliefs match the values and the beliefs of the North Reading Public School District. And one of the important pieces that I read was the mission of the North Reading Public Schools, and it's to educate all students by providing a safe learning environment which challenges and encourages them to think, to create, to be responsible, and to be confident and committed to excellent service and lifelong learning. And I have found through the interviews and the events and the site visits and the documents that I've reviewed that the North Reading Public School is truly realizing this mission on a day-to-day basis. And I'm very pleased to report that from the outset. So we can end right there. Okay. Okay, so what did I go through in terms of this process? The data gathering process included interviews, and you can see there's a list of those people that I interviewed in Appendix A. The questions that I used to interview those individuals are listed in Appendix C. I did a document review. All of those documents are listed in Appendix B, and I've been attending events, and of course will continue to attend events, but it's a wonderful way to watch this mission come alive in the North Reading Public School District. There are general goals that guide the entry plan process, so you can see what those goals are. You really do get to meet and learn about the school district and the people in that district. It also gave me an opportunity to examine key issues that the system has faced in the past. Also to take a look at what some of those priorities are that we need to tackle going into the future. And then identify how those tasks should be accomplished. Of course, there are specific objectives that also guide this process. Very important for me was to develop relationships with the people that I met, and I will continue to develop those relationships for as long as I'm here. It also gave me an opportunity to examine norms, procedures, and processes that govern the leadership in this district, and to identify key issues for those various stakeholders with whom I spoke. And then, of course, at the end of the day, what do you do with all of this information? Well, it's important to use that data to plan strategically for the future. So, the plan is organized around 4 major categories, and those 4 categories are governance and leadership, educational program, parent and community relations, finance, and business operations. And underneath each of those categories are subcategories, and I've grouped the findings as well as some next steps underneath each of those subcategories. I'm not going to go through all of the findings or all of the next steps with you that are included in the plan, but the plan will be posted on the website tomorrow for anybody that would like to take a look at it. It is a bit lengthy, but it contains a lot of very important information for me. Many of you may already know all of this information, but for somebody new to an organization, it was very important for me to learn all of this information that I learned over the course of the last 7 months. So let's get started. Under governance and leadership, I took a look at school committee and what were the major findings. Some of the major findings that were important for me is the school committee is a group of 5 members strongly committed to the success of the students in this school district. They understand the roles and responsibilities of the school committee and how that coincides with the roles and responsibilities of the superintendent. That's very important for me. They're also very good at what they do because they listen, they communicate, they problem solve, and they work strategically. A cohesive and long-range vision was established with the development of the year 2000 strategic plan. That strategic plan has been in place for over 10 years and has done a wonderful job guiding the work of this district. And it's a testament to all of those individuals who worked on the development of that strategic plan, as well as the former superintendent, because it has stood the test of time. And so I was very happy to see that document in place. There's a policy manual that guides the day-to-day work that we do here in the district. And it appears that the frequency and the duration of the meetings that take place, whether it's a school committee meeting or whether it's a subcommittee meeting, meets the needs of this organization. So what are some of the next steps? Some of the next steps include developing workshops with the school committee and possibly a summer retreat. The workshops would continue to evolve around budget development, as well as taking a look at all of the data that's been collected through this entry plan and prioritizing some of the next steps. We'd plan strategically around this data. We'd continue to conduct our systematic policy review. There is a policy subcommittee of the school committee that's already engaged in doing that. And then there is also an evaluation subcommittee of the school committee. And we're in the process of developing a self-evaluation form of the school committee. And so we'd be piloting that this year and using that data, again, to plan strategically around where do we want to be in the next several years. The next category under governance and leadership was human resources. There's a strong perception that North Reading employs a significant number of dedicated and talented educational leaders, teachers, and support staff that care, again, deeply about educating the whole child, not just the brain, but the whole child, the social and emotional aspects as well as the cognitive aspects. When I was conducting interviews and asking about the strengths of our teaching staff, the feedback that I received and adjectives that were used about our teachers and our support staff and our administrators were words such as positive, knowledgeable, creative, motivated, passionate, hardworking, and professional. And they are the people that make education happen on a daily basis. The district level administrative structure is typical for the size of North Reading, but the level of responsibilities for each of these positions has expanded greatly since ed reform. The central office team consists of 4 administrators. 3 of us are brand new. So at this point in time, I would like to give my thanks to Carl Nelson, who has done an incredible job helping to make the transition go as smoothly as it has, and I couldn't do it without him. He's been a key leader in this transition process. The central office support staff is the glue that holds the organization together. They work very hard, and they work many days for many hours when they don't need to be here. The district does not have a human resources department, and there's no single position dedicated to all of the work that goes on regarding human resources management. There is an increased demand for database management due to all of the reports that need to be submitted to the Department of Education, and those requests for reports increase each year. So I just wanted to make note that database management is a key position in this district. As far as what do we do for next steps? Well, we need to continue to develop the senior leadership team. We work very well together, but we're still very new working together. And so we'll continue to work on developing ourselves as a team. We'll continue to take a look at the roles and responsibilities of the administration and the staff to identify if there are gaps and overlaps, and then streamline so that we are efficient and effective. Again, streamline the human resources management piece. There are many, many of us that handle that function, and so we'll continue to explore, are there better ways to do this business? We'll review our hiring protocols. We've been doing that. We've changed some of the forms and the procedures, but we'll continue to refine that so that it is efficient. We'll examine our current data management practices and identify ways to make it practical. And then we're going to also explore sharing resources with the town. Are there some functions or procedures where we can come together to be more efficient than we are now? So that's what we're going to do in the area of human resources. The last category under governance and leadership is leadership and management. And again, there were some great findings about leadership. The building level leadership is outstanding and represents a blend of successful and experienced administrators and talented newcomers to administration. We have, again, a new elementary principal. The middle school, the high school, and 2 of the elementary principals have been in their positions for a period of time. But our assistant principal at the middle school and our assistant principal at the high school are new to their positions this year. And our PPS director, as you know, is one of the senior administrative positions, is new, and her assistant, the assistant PPS director, is new. So there are many new administrators to the district this year, and my job is to find ways for us to come together and continue to develop as a team so that we are functioning at our peak capacity. But there is already a strong sense of collaboration on the administrative council. These people are very good and caring and dedicated individuals, and it's a pleasure to come to work every day and work with them. I'm very fortunate. At the beginning of the school year, we had our curriculum teacher leadership model come into play. It came into play in November of 2010, and this is an area of leadership that we need to continue to develop. Teacher leadership capacity is key to sustaining any of the new initiatives that we have in place.